Okay, if you want to, if you're interested to see how much water gets in through a cracked tile and what effect it'll have on insulation, like the cellulose fibre insulation, this is a roof that I high pressure hosed yesterday, and so I've got 5,000 psi of pressure pumping over the whole lot, and so that would represent a quite substantial downpour, so just remember that. But this tile here is broken, and so part of the roof restoration work is to replace the broken tiles. So I've slid this on up, and because it's broken I can just break that in half and separate it, pull it out. Right. Now, and so you can see there where the break was. So because I just did this yesterday, the cellulose fibre is a little bit wet right underneath that break right there, so that's the dry insulation, that's the wet insulation, and obviously a bit more water's come in right directly under that point there. Obviously it was dripping in there, and if you have a look at the break itself, it's quite a substantial break that was in that. It was right through the tile. So now just have a look. See that the top's wet, but the bottom's not wet underneath there, right? And this will just dry out by itself. You can see just with the heat in the roof, it'll dry out over a couple of days, and then it won't affect the product as far as fire or vermin goes. The borax won't wash out, and this insulation here, it's held the water in one spot and stopped it running away, but it hasn't affected the insulation at all. So that's all just fine, and that'll dry out the next day, and if I hadn't discovered it, you'd never know that there was a leak, probably. So the cellulose fibre, it's not an issue getting a bit of water on it. As you can see, it hasn't damaged the product at all, and that'll just dry off and evaporate. Okay.